everybody. Welcome to another sensational session of Strike a Chord Live podcast with my dear brother, Colin Harbor. He's right there in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Marcus Ellis. I'm here in Pensacola, Florida. Colin, why don't you tell him who we are?
We are two lifelong friends with a love of baseball, music, motivation, and inspiration mixed with a little bit of nostalgia, culture, transformation, and fun. And we want you to take the journey with us.
This is Strike a Chord Live podcast.
Sounds so good on that intro.
Yeah, that was a great introduction.
I mean, that right there, I just love that part right there.
I am always amazed by technology. Even the simplest thing, like a pre-recorded intro, can be played every time we do this. And I'm just amazed every time.
You know what I like the best about it is that I could still see you and you were doing your thing. I love that. We want you.
I was doing that just to make you smile, Mark.
You made me smile. Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm good. I am good, man. It's been, I don't know. I mean, I guess we talked a couple times, but it's been
a week.
A week and a half.
Yeah, it has been a week and a half. So there's all kinds of stuff going on, you know, family members in the hospital and stuff like that with me. But it's been a week, right? How about you?
Yeah, you know, things have been going a little bit crazy. I know I've got holes in my roof. I've got a daughter who's had a wreck in a car. I've got my car needs to be repaired with a lot of damages. So, you know, I mean, hey, what are you going to do?
Well, that's something. I mean, that's really good that we can talk about those things because life happens, right? I mean, people think you and I are all rosy cheeked on here, smiling, everything that we got it all figured out, but life still happens to everybody, right?
It does. It does. And I've got a little bit of delay on your video on this. I don't know if it's just me. So if we accidentally talk over each other a little bit, that's going to be okay. That happens too. That happens sometimes too.
Well, what do you do when that stuff happens, man?
Yeah. So that's the toughest thing. I think, you know, and we'll talk more about it today and all that. But I think one of the main things that you have to do, obviously, is you have to keep going. Right? You have to keep moving on. I was actually just looking at LinkedIn, and one of my friends posted something on LinkedIn this morning about, it started out with, no, I didn't want to get out of bed this morning or something like that. And, you know, and then she was talking about how she feels better after exercising. And I know that's talking about a different topic, but it's the same concept, right? Sometimes you need to just keep going. Sometimes you need to put one foot in front of the other. And, you know, whether it's a family member that's ill, whether it's a business partner that's, you know, ill, or whether it's business gone bad, or there's holes in your roof, or whatever the case may be.
Or everything just comes down to you, Colin.
Everything comes down to me.
Just everything, you know, it's that day, everything's coming down. Like there's nobody to pick up the pieces but you. What are you going to do?
There's nobody to pick up the pieces but me, but Marcus, but you, but the person listening to this right now. What are you going to do? Well, again, I think the first thing to do is to open your eyes, get out of the bed, put your feet in front of each other and start moving, right? And whether it's making a plan, whether it's talking about it with someone, whether it's just persevering through, whether it's sometimes it's sitting back and really assessing the situation, right? Looking at the situation to determine, okay, what am I going to do to resolve this?
Well, I love that. And too, I hear a little bit of a delay coming back. So I don't know what's going on that, but we'll just deal with it. But I think the first thing you said, the most important thing you said is that you have to make the decision to keep going, right? You have to decide to keep going. So is that working? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's just the audio video is just going to be some technical difficulties this morning, I think.
That's fine. Well, I want to say good morning, everybody. Good morning, Summer Star. I love you. Good to see you and all the folks on Facebook. But yeah, man, you make the decision to keep going. So, you know, life is not just going to always just hand you beauty and, peace and serenity. There's nothing promised about that in the good book. It says that we're going to have issues. We're going to struggle. We're going to have strife. So I really like what you said. The first thing you do is decide, am I going to stay in bed, which is very easy to do. And I'm prone to do, you and I both are known for getting up early, but there are times, man, where it's like, you know what, phoning it in today, not doing it. And there are probably more times that thought comes up that we both persevere through it and keep going.
Yeah, not only that, when well, at least for me, I can't speak for you, but the times when I have woken up and said, you know what, I'm just going to throw in the towel or whatever for today, right? I'm going to probably about 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock that day, I get a little bit upset with myself, right? I've wasted the day. I can't believe I let the last 7 hours go by without doing X, Y, Z,
Yeah, man. Well, and that's something too. I mean, there's other people that aren't as hard on themselves as you and I are. We're pretty tough on ourselves.
I think, yeah, we're pretty tough on ourselves, but I think people as a rule are tough on themselves. And you didn't like the close up of me? What's up with that? Why'd you?
I thought you were vibing out on it, so I like the close up.
Man, I like the close up.
Yeah,
I think it's better. I think it'll be better for the Instagram Reels and for the YouTube Shorts and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of YouTube,
Wahoo's hat too.
Yeah, man. And speaking of YouTube, I don't want to get too far sidetracked, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to show it. I know that it looks like Summer is live streaming through YouTube. Maybe somebody else is right now. But if you go to youtube.com/@strikeacord podcast, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're growing exponentially on our YouTube subscribers.
We really are.
No, we are growing. We are growing, and we're putting out some information there. One of the things that we're doing right now is we're pulling stuff from the archive. So last year we didn't put a lot of stuff out on podcasts. It was always just the live stream on Facebook. But now we're going to start releasing all the archives into the podcast and into YouTube videos. So it's been kind of fun putting those together, and we've got a ways to go, but we've got a year's worth of stuff. So we've got a year worth of putting it out there, right?
We do. Well, and the cool thing is, Bruce texted me and I haven't responded back to him because I had so much going on, but he was like, man, you guys are pumping me out, putting us out there. It's cool too. So when we have guests on there that, we can continue to pump out the incredible motivation and information that we get from our guests,
Yeah, and it's fun to, the fun part of making that stuff too is I get to hear some of that motivation and some of that inspiration and some of that stuff from January 2022, November of 2021. I haven't even gotten to the 2021 stuff. I haven't even gone back to that. 2022 was a full year. I mean, we got 40 or 50 episodes, so there's just tons of stuff to do there. But you know what? Back to oh, you were about to say something, I think.
I was just going to have your segue there for you. I was going to say, going back and listening to all that stuff, it inspires us to keep going.
It inspires us to keep going. Mark's trying to keep me on point. He doesn't want me to do all the advertising this morning. He wants to talk.
I know. You can do all the advertising you want. I just like to bring it, be pro and bring it back around.
Bring it back around. Bring it back around. Media. So, Mark, what do you do? What does Marcus Ellis do? Maybe I need to scoot my camera over a little bit.
I talk to myself.
It's always the opposite. What's that? No, let's keep it up. I like it like that.
I talk to myself. I really do. So when the going gets hard, and things feel insurmountable, first of all, I pray like we all do, right? And then I talk to myself out loud. And I thought that was a silly thing to do until I start reading up on it. And it's a sign of genius. Did you know that, Colin? If you talk to yourself.
We always knew that you were a genius, Marcus. And now we have the evidence. We have conclusive evidence that Marcus Ellis is a genius.
And the other thing is a messy desk. So a messy desk, talking to yourself, cussing is signs of genius. But anyways, I talk to myself. So what's up, Nat Banks? I love you, man. Hump day. He's going to be equipping you for greatness here pretty soon. Good to see you, Nat. But Nat is the example because he never stops. he doesn't have a down week. And I bet you he'd tell you that was true. And he probably should use that for an episode on equipping you for greatness, is that, even though those of us who are ballers who always seem to be going have those speed bumps, those stumbling blocks in our way, right? We drop the baton sometimes, right, Colin? And how do you keep going? And for me, I give myself a literal pep talk.
Yeah. So I told you a little bit beforehand. I mean, since we've had the last podcast, so a week and a half ago, not even 2 full weeks, we've discovered holes in my roof, leaks in my roof coming down into part of the house.
Family members in the hospital for a week.
You've had family. I've had my daughter got in a wreck Monday morning, early morning, got in a wreck. I've got major damage to my car that they're trying to get me to repair, although I've talked them down to just making it street legal, like I told you earlier. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened to us just in the last week and a half.
Yeah. I love this. Bruce Pulver says, got to turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. It's just.
Of course, Bruce said that. I mean, Bruce is always going to do that, right? But it's so true.
I want the flip in the script trick that he's got, he's like Mr. Opposite, but positive,
But I still, it's the changing. I still, not to get sidetracked, but I still like the, if you just take the P in the middle of the fourth P in that word and you move it to the end, it's got a whole different meaning. You're like, dang, man. Bruce, he's right. These things are stepping stones, right? They are stepping stones to the unknown, right? You don't know. None of us know what next week holds. None of us know, quite frankly, what today holds in a lot of cases.
No, you're so right. And two, it's when you're flying, when you're doing good, and you're like, oh, I got this licked. First of all, don't ever think you got it licked, because when you do, that's when you'll be quickly reminded. Let's see. Summer Star says, my truck has been broken down since December 31st. And I feel like I'm being saved from something. There we go. I mean, that's that duality, that looking at it, from a different perspective, right? And that's what it's all about. It's perspective. It's like, oh my gosh, do I have to get up and go to work this morning? Or is it, oh my gosh, I'm so excited and grateful that I have a job, that I'm alive and I can go and do these things. It's all about perspective and mindset that we always talk about and drive into the ground. However, I don't know about you, but I wasn't prepared for all the things to happen this week. Were you?
I wasn't prepared for everything to happen all at once, right? And even so my car and the holes in the roof all happened. And then I was like, all right, it's Monday morning. I was going to a client's office. I was like, I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to crush it today. I'm going to crush it today. Now, I didn't have a car, so my wife was taking me. So my wife and I were together. And then we get the call from my daughter. I was in a wreck. We were 25 minutes away, so we had to, drive back. But that was all, that was before whatever time high school starts, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, what time it was. I don't remember. So it was early, right? And then on Monday, I thought I had it licked. I thought I was going to move on. I thought, oh man, if all this bad stuff happened to me, nothing else bad could possibly happen to me this week. This is my week. And Monday morning, before whatever time, just another incident, right?
Well, so once that happens to you, though, what's the reaction? Is it still, the reaction still, oh, this is my week, I'm going to own it no matter what? Or is it, oh, look at now what happened to me, that kind of attitude?
Well, after I got my bottle of Jack Daniels, I sat down. No, just kidding. Just kidding. It wasn't Jack Daniels. But what was your question? Then what? Yeah, no, so it's funny because
how did you internalize that?
Yeah, so so I was at a client's office yesterday, and kind of a deal we were working on maybe has gone a little bit south, although it's still salvageable. But we were talking, I was like, golly, it's Tuesday, and this week is horrible. I was doing the woe is me.
Right.
And this guy said, well, you know what that means? We've still got 3 days to right the ship. And he's right. And that's what we're talking about, is a stepping stone, right? That's what we're talking about, flipping the script. And this guy did it right on the spot. Just as, just in a natural stride. Hey, it's Tuesday. That means we've got 3 days, buddy. Let's get going, you know? And I'm like,
There's
heck
your
yeah.
TikTok. That's your TikTok.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there. So, wherever we are in the broadcast at, 15 till, you can back it up and cut it out and get it for the TikTok. No, I love that. Once again, it's perspective is changing, that we have the opportunity to do this. We have the opportunity to go out and be capitalist and make money. We have opportunity to go out and serve somebody and do something nice for somebody, or be a minister to somebody. So that we have so many opportunities, but like you said, it's so easy. Well, when you get that 1, 2, 3 punch, it usually comes in threes too, right? You got this and then that and then this, and you're like, here's another question. Never, ever, ever ask. And I'm not asking this question. I'm just going to use this question as an example, but never, ever ask, what else can happen to me? Because when you say what else can happen to me, you are bringing that on, brother and sister, and that's going to come to you. So once again, you flip the script and say things are always working out for me.
Yeah, that
for me.
Yeah, flip the script. Positive. Right? We talk about positive messages. We talk about good vibes and the impact it can have on your life. And no, you can't more than likely wish that $1 million is going to show up in my floor this morning. Although I'm looking right now to see, I'm speaking it into existence. I'm trying to speak $1 million, but it's not going to happen. But take the challenges, take those things, flip the script, stay positive. Absolutely.
Well, there was I can't remember who it was, but I was in a sales thing, and one of the tricks was the guy, it was one of those don't take no for answer. I'm just going to sit here and flip the script on this guy, and it works. And it really, how that is accomplished, Colin, is through asking questions, right? The easiest way to get a sale is to ask questions. So if we're selling ourselves on going out there and persevering and accomplishing things and kicking butt, we have to ask ourselves our questions. What is my target today? Why am I here? How can I improve the planet? How can I improve myself? And those questions, as you go through them and answer them, all of a sudden there's meaning in your day. And it's like, oh my gosh, okay, so these things, I do have these things dealing. I can deal with this here. I can deal with that there. I'll have to do that later. But by asking questions, how can I get this all accomplished and get this off my plate? Those help me generate ideas and gumption, for lack of a better term. Alicia Tappan loves the term gumption. It just gives me the kick in the pants to keep going.
Yeah, no, that's great. Who else is depending on you, right? Like you said, what is your purpose? What are you supposed to be here? A couple of things. One is I read, Rick Warren, right? Rick Warren, a lot of people, or a lot of people know who Rick Warren is. I wouldn't say most people do, but Rick Warren, they've got a daily hope devotional. So I read that every day because I'm kind of cheap and I don't want to buy a book, a devotional. So I use the free Rick Warren Bible study, and it's enough. But one of the I guess what it was just today, right? The last few days has been about fear not, don't be afraid. God will help you through things like that. And it's that same thing, right? Fear not. God is with you. Pray. You mentioned that earlier. Plan. Bad things are going to happen. Nowhere in the Bible, or if you're not a Christian, maybe in a different religion, I'm sure it doesn't say that nothing bad will ever happen to you, right? It never says that.
It will happen to you.
Right. But in the Bible, God says, and I think it was today, said 365 times, fear not. There's 365 references to fear not in the Bible. Right. According to Rick Warren, don't quote me on that, or you can quote me on that, but I don't know if it's true. But 365 days, so literally one for every day of the year. Basically.
Yeah, we're going to have to get Rick Warren on because we're talking so much about his devotional, but I listen to that every day.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's a good one. And definitely, if you put 100% of your faith in God, then there's nothing to fear. However, we are human beings, and we have that little ticker, that little flaw where we can get inside our own heads. And so, as Colin and I have had, multiple events happen this week, and they're not been bad. It's just normal life stuff that could start to get you down. And so we thought that would be a great topic to give to you guys on how we overcome and achieve things when things are rough, right? And so it's really just, I love the affirmations part. Of course, get into scripture, because if you want to find something, and I have my devotional right here. Here's the one that I paid for, Colin, and then I do listen to the Rick Warren one for free. So I have a couple of devotionals, but it's all about having the confidence in knowing that everything's going to work out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything, that's the stuff that I walk around saying. And then all of a sudden it's like people ask you, how did you do that? I don't know. Things just worked out for me. And it's a mindset of keeping on going and doing that thing.
That's the mindset, right? That's the mindset piece of it. Like you just said, it's things are going to work out for me. They always do, as opposed to things always suck and they never work out for me.
Or the Bruce Pulver again, the why me, or why not me?
Why not me? Right?
Why not me?
Why should I not go through whatever the trial and tribulation is for this, or the trial for this week, right? Why not me?
And that brings up a really good, let's see. I think it's 1-2. I'm looking up a verse. I should know this by heart, but yeah. So in the book of James, and I've said this one many, many times before, but it's James 1-2. Consider it a pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that testing of your faith produces perseverance. So when we're saying, why is this happening to me? Let's flip that script like we love to do and say, what is this trying to tell me? What is this trying to teach me? Why? What is the positive that comes out of this? And then just go back to that verse there we were talking about, consider a pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. So each one of these tests that Colin and I are going through this week are just making us stronger. And I think you would have dealt with this differently in your youth, correct?
Well, yeah, I think the more mature that people generally get, or old might be another phrase, because of the experiences and everything you go through. But I was going to say, that verse and what you just mentioned, at the very least, whatever your trial is for today, you're going to be stronger tomorrow, right? You will have developed a stronger spine for perseverance at the very least, right?
Well, but here's the other thing. We've talked about count your wins. You're continuing to move forward by not stopping, right? And you can count that little win. I walked to the mailbox today, right? I did that. You and I set ourselves up for big goals every day. And I think you and I get down on ourselves if we don't accomplish that particular goal, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So, and Tabitha Wall said, what is this lesson trying to teach me? I love that. It's so good that if we just simply reverse our thought process, if we just simply change the way we're thinking to go from why is this happening to me to why not me, that really is the tip to keep going, right? Make intentions daily. There are so many things that you can do. And I think this is all it's Tabitha Walls on here. There's so many things you can do to keep going, but it's first, like we've talked about, it's that making that decision to handle it properly. I mean, your daughter getting in a car wreck, you could have lost your mind. I mean, there's many dads who would to get out and kick their own car and make a dent in their own car, but you're like, how can I handle this? First of all, without hurting my daughter's feelings, how can I get out of this the best I can and be street legal? Your mind's going, you're thinking of things, right? You're thinking of solutions rather than going, this stuff just keeps happening to me. Well, if you say that, you're right. That stuff's just going to keep happening to you, right?
Yeah. So over and over and over again, we've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years now. 2 years.
Mind blowing.
And over and over and over again, we talk about mindset.
Yep. That's what it boils down. You all right?
No, I'm all right. I got a delay. Like I thought you were saying something, because the delay of the video stream, just to me, I think is what's causing a little bit of the bad chemistry this morning. If not bad chemistry,
just don't look at me.
Maybe that's what I need to do, is just put my hand up. I'm blocking you right now. Oh, that's me. I'm blocking you right now.
But how would you have handled it when you were younger, with your daughter in the wreck versus now?
Well, I probably would have. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Younger, I probably would have handled some of the aftermath. I think the initial part of it, you're always, are you okay? Right.
Yeah.
That's the number one question. Are you okay? Is everyone else okay? Like the other car, is everybody okay? It was teenager wreck, by the way. 2 teenagers wrecked with
that happens.
Yeah. It happens. It happened Monday morning at about 8:00 or whatever, 8:45. So I know that it happens. But yeah, so I don't know. I probably some of the aftermath I would have handled differently when I was younger. The initial part would have been the same. I think I would have been more frustrated. I would have probably the wreck. I'm not even that upset about. I knew it was going to happen eventually, right? And everybody is okay. Everybody is safe. I've got insurance, so I mean, I think it's possibly. I don't want to say probably, possibly Audrey's fault. And if the worst that happens to me is I have to pay a deductible, right? And my deductible is pretty low, so it's not going to crush me. So, but those are all mindset things, right? Those are all right. Well, this is life. These are the things you have to think about now. It's over with. The accident has happened. Now what? These are the things that have to be done. One of them would be nice if the claims adjuster would call us back. She hasn't called us
back. Right. Yeah. But I liked how you didn't let it get you upset. Didn't let you get mad. Hey, I got good news for you. I looked something up. So you're not elderly until you're 65.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm at the point now though. I'm not worried about like people call me old or whatever. I'm just like, do I get discounts on something? Do I get?
Do you have your AARP card yet?
I don't. I do get solicitations from them in the mail.
Dude, you need to do that. So so we're middle aged from 40 to 65. So just let you know. Yeah, but I thought you'd find that. I know that was something you would find interesting. But the point is, folks, doesn't matter how old you are. Peggy Gossman saying, shaking my head.
Is that what SMH means? Is that literally? I've never known what SMH means. I've always wondered. I've been too embarrassed to ask.
Well, I'm here for you, bro. Like any of the acronyms you want to ask, you can just go ahead and ask me. Some of them are not safe for, live, but we're still good. But Peggy says she's 65 in 3 months. Point is, well, happy early birthday, Peggy. We love you. You're always here. Point is, keep going. Mindset, persevere, flip the script, make it different, make it fun if you can. I don't know about how going to visit somebody in the hospital is fun when they're not doing anything at the hospital, but you know what I started doing? I started walking up the stairs, man. Getting my stairs in rather than going up the elevator. Make some fun game out of it. You can always
tell people you love them at the hospital.
Oh, all over the place, and then they just look really weird because everybody's wearing masks and you don't know what's going on.
That's true. And people might be really sad. And I love you. I just realized I didn't plug in my microphone today. I knew there was something earlier that was different about the sound I was hearing.
Oh, you sound great.
Oh, I don't have my microphone plugged in.
Okay, how are you going to handle that?
I don't have my microphone plugged in. I mean, what in the world?
Well, we got 2 minutes, so I mean, does that just
we got to go back and start all over? Now we know what we're going to talk about. We can make it a little bit tighter. So let's go back.
Yep. All right, let's just go back. But yeah, folks, when you don't feel up like getting out of bed in the morning, when you don't feel like putting that one foot in front of the other, I always think of that Christmas, one foot in front of the other. But make the decision. Somebody's depending on you today. Colin and I are depending on you today to get up, to get moving, get motivated, do that thing you've always wanted to do because you know that you can do it. Right, Colin?
Right.
So we're going to go deal with a bajillion things that we have going on in our lives. We want you to go out there and do a bajillion things with your life. We want you to know that you're loved, you're seen, you're heard. We appreciate you. And we're going to be back here on Friday at 6:30 a.m. For another incredible session. But Colin, what are you doing there? playing.
What am I doing when? I'm sorry, I can't do two things at once. I just put get up and get going banner going. I love this banner stuff through StreamYard.
Yeah, it's great.
I was sidetracked. I'm sorry. Let me hide
Yeah,
that.
cool. I saw what you were doing. I liked what you were doing there.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing. Get up and get going. Get the right mindset. Hey, and we know sometimes it's hard. So think through it. What are you laughing?
I just think it's great.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just smiling. Smiling's my favorite.
Okay. Well,
I was just looking at us and just laughing. It's
Well, it's because it's a delay too. So it's like you're not laughing when I'm saying something that I think is funny, and I'm like, well, all right, something's wrong. Like, is the fly undone? Is there a bug hanging out of my nose or what?
No, it's good. But no, I think this was good because we could have easily just not done the segment and dealt with the stuff. We said, no, we're going to do it. And we're just going to be real. And we were real today. We got some things going on. We've made our minds up that we're going to tackle them. And we're going to go do it.
Doing a emoji, a flexing muscle emoji. So, all right.
All right.
Now, this is great. Mark, thanks. I'm glad we're back. I know we kind of had a little bit of technical difficulties, and I think it would have sounded better if I would have put my microphone, if I would have plugged my microphone in, maybe a little bit of less echo and all that kind of stuff, but that's okay. Life goes on.
It continues to happen, man. Well, this has been great. Let's do this again on Friday, and we'll do something cool on Friday. Thanks, y'all. See you later.